Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bolt Report for another episode of Thunderstruck. My name is Mike Wax, and today I am joined by a very special guest. Our guest was drafted 126 overall in the 2021 entry draft by your Tampa Bay Lightning. In 3 seasons with the Big Ten's Michigan Wolverines, he put up 54 goals and 46 assists for 100 points in 123 games, leading Michigan to two Big Ten tournament championships and three consecutive Frozen Fours. This season with the Syracuse Crunch, he leads the Crunch with 11 goals at the time of this recording and is tied for second in points with 19. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dylan Duke. Dylan, thank you so much for joining the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So the first thing that we do with all of our prospects that we bring on here is talk about the NHL draft. So for you specifically, what do you remember from that draft day?
Yeah, I was actually at the World Junior Summer Showcase during the draft. So um the day of the second round, we had practices and stuff. So when the Lightning actually picked me, I was in the locker room. I wasn't even watching, didn't even know what was going on, and they had it on in the training room, and I heard someone scream my name from down the hall. So figured that I had been selected and wasn't sure what team, and someone came running down the hall and let me know that it was the Lightning.
What was the reaction from everybody else in that summer showcase?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Obviously a dream come true, and there were a ton of guys that were going through the draft that day or had been drafted in the first round the day before, or drafted the previous year, the older guys. So there was a lot of support around the rink, and yeah, it was just an exciting day for a lot of people.
Going back to the process of talking with all the teams, the combine, the draft interviews, everything like that. Who was the first person from the Lightning organization to reach out to you?
The first person I'm pretty sure was John Burkott. If I'm saying his last name wrong, apologize. But yeah, I think he's one of the scouts. I had a couple phone conversations with him leading up to the draft and before, and filled out a questionnaire for the Lightning.
At least in those, maybe not the first meeting, but the first couple of meetings, what do you remember about what the Lightning were looking for in you and why they believed in you?
Yeah, I think the first thing that they were looking for from me is just a competitive player, a competitive person, and someone that wants to get better. I think at the time, we all knew that there was still a lot of work to be done before I would be able to transition to pro hockey, and I think that was a conversation we had was they'll help you give you the resources that you need to become better, and it's kind of up to you to use those resources to the best of your ability, and ultimately try and become the best player and person you could be.
Now, I know you got a younger brother, Tyler, who has you played with both when you were younger, current, and then played with at Michigan as well. But for you going into the Lightning development camp, how did you find out that Tyler was going to join you that one year?
Um, yeah, I think they had talked to our family advisor, and said that would be an option, that they wanted him to attend the camp too, and obviously that was pretty cool that we got to get on that flight from the Detroit airport and fly down to Tampa together, and spend a week in Tampa, trying to get better and learn more about the Lightning.
And then, let's go to your specific style of play. A lot of people may not have seen you play before, but there's a lot of time spent in front of the net. Of course, with that comes a lot of cross checks and things from defenders and whatnot. But how do you put yourself in the best position to be in front of the net, tip in pucks, and grab rebounds?
Yeah, obviously it's kind of it comes with some cross checks and stuff, but to me it's just another way to be useful on the ice and finding different ways to score. I think kind of developed that style of play when I was my 2 years at the national team development program, and it's kind of always been a part of my game since, and something that I still try and get better at. Still look at little things, watch a lot of video, watch guys in the NHL that are good at it, and obviously being a smaller guy, it's not as common, but I think I can use it to my advantage. I think I've found ways to kind of be able to kind of use my size in front of the net and use it to my advantage.
I know you just mentioned, being smaller. That's not typically the type of guy you see in the net front area. But who are some of the guys in the NHL that you tend to look at film wise to, hone your craft?
I think a big one was that I always watch is Brennan Gallagher on Montreal. Super good at it, super tenacious player, really smart, really works really hard, and he finds ways to help his team and to be successful out there. So I think just little things that he does throughout the whole game, whether it's in front of the net or D zone, his whole game, I think I can learn a lot from him.
As far as, zone entries are concerned, what do you see in the defense, whether it's even strength, power play? What are you looking for, first of all, whether it's their feet, their positioning, to try and gain those zone entries and catch them off guard?
Well, I think first, you're just trying to scan the ice, know where the defenders are, and then know where your teammates are on the ice. And obviously, there's times where you do it yourself and you skate it in, but obviously it's you got five guys out there, so I think a lot of it is knowing your teammates, and even if you don't have the puck, running the right route for your teammate, it can be really beneficial. So I think just using each other out there and obviously making reads on where the defense is the key to that.
So one of the big things at Michigan, just going back to your collegiate career, that 2024 regional final was against Isaac Howard, your fellow Bolt prospect, someone that also attended development camp. How are you able to take that mindset of really getting to know him a little bit and knowing that he's potentially a future teammate to competing with him and trying to beat him during the regular season and specifically in that tournament?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we play Michigan State a lot, so I got to play against him a good amount of times last year, and great player, and does a lot of things the right way out there. So, he's an exciting guy to watch. But at the end of the day, when we're on separate teams, when we were playing against each other in college, all that kind of goes out the window, and you're just doing anything you can to help your team win. So not really thinking about much on who's on the other side. It's all about doing whatever you can for your team, and especially in a rivalry game, those are some of the biggest games of the year against those guys.
What was something that you noticed, whether it was development camp with him, against him playing wise, Michigan State, that you are looking forward to when you guys end up playing with each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that always stood out to me with him was his goal scoring ability, his shot. So he's got a quick release, kind of finds good at finding spots on the ice to get shots off and get pucks on net. So yeah, for sure, his ability to find ways to score, it's definitely always stood out to me.
So off the top, I had mentioned all the success you had at Michigan, bringing them to, so many Frozen Fours, having 100 points. What went into the decision to leaving early and joining the Lightning organization with some eligibility left at Michigan?
I think there was a lot that went into it. Just talking with my family and advisors, and then obviously with the Lightning, trying to make the best decision for myself and my development. We had a couple different conversations, and ultimately, I felt that I was ready to start playing pro hockey, start learning how to be a successful pro hockey player, and I think the timing was right, and really happy with that decision.
You mentioned being ready, and you are currently leading the Crunch in goals right now with 11, fifth among AHL rookies. We talk about with other prospects what maybe is different from the level that they were at to the professional level. but what have you seen that's made the transition easier? What has some similarities between the NCAA and the AHL?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's obviously two different leagues and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to just be the player you are and do the things that make you successful. You can't change everything you do just because you're playing in a different league or whatnot. And obviously, the AHL is very hard, very difficult. League to play in, and I think the NCAA is the same thing. I think, when I got to the NCAA, I did struggle a little bit and kind of worked through it and found ways to become successful in that league. And, that's kind of the same mindset going in here is to, find ways to be a successful player in this league and help your team win.
When you are in the AHL, there's a lot of guys that, are older, have been around the block. Which veteran or veterans, if you have more than one, on Syracuse have made that transition easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of guys. We have a great group of guys. All the older guys, super helpful, making the transition to pro hockey easier. But one that really stands out, been in the organization for a long time, Daniel Walcott. He just kind of always makes us, all the rookies, feel welcome at the rink. Teaches us a lot about just daily life, how to handle ourselves around the rink. He's got every answer in the book, if you ever have a question. So I definitely have leaned on him this year, just asking him a lot of different questions, and he's been super helpful for me.
We see a lot on socials about how fun of a guy that Walcott is, and getting to see him in that final game of, I believe it was 2021, actually make his NHL debut. Very hard worker. So really happy that he's had those experiences, and glad he's able to help the younger guys like yourself. Going from a veteran, who is someone that has maybe in their first season, maybe their just second season, that you've really been able to click with early on the crunch?
I think Gabrielle Sturck's been, we got pretty close at development camp, just, obviously going into pro hockey together the same year. We got to play together a good amount this year too. So he's been a guy that we sit together on the bus and, we've kind of just been figuring out life together. Whether that's, away from the rink or at the rink, on the ice, stuff like that. He's just been a good teammate, good friend. So it's been pretty exciting to go through this with him.
When you first saw Gabriel's last name, did that, what did that do for you in terms of like, did he have to tell you how to pronounce it, stuff like that?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't even, still don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, it's definitely a pretty difficult name to say.
100%. So, you know, we've mentioned a lot with a lot of the prospects that we've had on here about what they bring to the table. And teams always talk about identities, finding identities throughout the season. But for you, what is your identity on the ice?
I think my identity is compete, really high compete. Someone that plays all over the ice, D zone, O zone. I want to be a guy that's able to contribute in all different ways. Not just scoring goals or it's got to be everything. I would like to say just a complete player that wants to do anything to help the team win.
And then looking ahead to the second half of the season, I know we're already in the new year as of the time of this recording, but what is one goal that you have for yourself for the rest of this campaign?
Honestly, I think it's just keep getting better every day. I think I want to be better, than I was the first half. I want to, be better, when next year starts. I think that's the biggest thing is just keep getting better and, hopefully the team keeps finding ways to win. We're off to a good start this second half and, hopefully it'll be an exciting year for everyone.
And then we got one more question for you before we do our typical lightning minute, which is where we ask you a series of rapid fire questions, get to know you a little bit better. But what is, looking back on your career, the goal that you look back on the most?
Oh, that's a tough question, but I think probably the goal that I look back at the most would be, um, 7 minutes left in that regional final against Michigan State. Think I got the puck in the neutral zone, had some speed. It was a tie game. Took a defenseman wide, cut across the crease, and was able to find the back of the net, and then got a good picture. With my stick in the air, my brother right behind me. So we got that one framed on the wall, and one that I'll definitely remember. And yeah, it was just, my one of my last games at Michigan, so definitely pretty cool goal.
First day with Isaac Howard as a teammate, are you going to have that picture right on the wall behind you?
Yeah, I might have to.
All right, so we're going to go into our lightning minute. As I said beforehand, this is going to be a minute long. We're going to have rapid fire questions, rapid fire answers. No need to give any sort of explanation as to, why you picked a certain thing. Our previous high, we keep getting this number wrong every time. I want to say it's 12, which is our sideline reporter Gabby Shirley for the Tampa Bay Lightning had 12 in our last interview. Let's see if you can beat that. Are you ready to go, Dylan?
Yep.
All right, timer will start once I am done reading the first question. If I know how to set a timer. All right, favorite hockey player,
Sidney Crosby.
go-to goal celebration,
One knee fist bump.
favorite pre-game meal,
Ground beef.
favorite hockey game you have watched as a fan.
Um, Stanley Cup playoffs. Pittsburgh Penguins. '09.
Favorite Lightning jersey,
Um, Marty St. Louis.
favorite activity outside of hockey,
Fishing.
favorite song to listen to,
Uh, I don't know. That's a tough one. Um, I don't know. I don't have a favorite song in the moment.
well, we need an answer because the time has ran out.
Ah, that one got me. Couldn't think of anything.
No worries at all. Just a quick calculation. I believe that is 7. So
Ah,
not quite as high as our previous ones, but again, we've had people that have been stuck on 2 or 3. So pretty good overall effort right there. But guys, that'll do it for us in this one. Huge thanks to Dylan Duke for coming on the show. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and make sure to turn on that bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And we'll talk to you in the next one. Go Bolts.